The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors and I'm your host, and tonight, returning.
For 102nd time.
Yes, and they mentioned that on the wrestling podcast about nothing today.
They did?
Yes,
See
they
that?
did.
Perfect.
Sonny Goodspeed.
Thanks for having me again,
No,
Leo.
please.
Right on.
And if you guys don't know it, in 2 days, we're going to shoot a cooking show.
Wednesday. It'll be on YouTube. We'll promote it, and it'll be on whatever, Facebook.
Yeah.
We'll get that out there.
It's gotta be
People know about
crazy.
it. And Dick, because I've been on the show so many times now, we need to talk about my contract.
And a cup with the
And
S.
a cup.
Yeah.
I don't know who
None of
this D stands for.
Oh,
I'm
that's
beginning to think
Derek.
I thought it was for Dick.
No, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it should be an S.
I think some people call Derek that.
I think you're right.
Just messing with you,
Just
buddy.
a nickname.
I love
Just
you.
a nickname, though.
Just kidding, pal. You know I love you.
Right.
Listen, I got so many fan questions today, it's unreal. And
I'm very popular.
Oh, you definitely, you are.
People love me.
And one of the guys that really loves you, we're going to start off with for
All
sure.
right, all
Jason Carter, Pinky
Jason
Petunia.
Pinky Petunia. Right
He
on.
says, during our dinner date match, did the show draw a good crowd? And before you say anything, on the video, it was packed. So he answered his own, but what did you think about that?
I don't. This is the God's honest truth. When you're in the moment,
Yeah.
you swear that, holy cow, that place sold out.
Right.
You've never seen so many people. You know, that's the old workers thing. And they were hanging from the rafters. But I do remember it being a decent crowd. We were local. We were there every month.
Right.
So we never really had continuity as far as like stories go. So they didn't have to follow month to month.
Right.
You show up and it's going to be a different show. Like 1 month I'm a heel, 1 month I'm a babyface.
Yeah.
I'm under a mask. I'm on whatever. You know, it's different. So we probably did draw a good crowd, and that was a good time. It was always
fun,
a good
huh?
time. Yeah, they were always fun.
Right. And
Always
Pinky's
fun.
a funny guy.
Yes.
Did you have fun ripping off his clothes? No, I don't think as much fun as you would have had.
Yeah.
bud.
No, Pinky. I think you had way more of a fun time having me rip off your clothes than I had. I threw up in my mouth at least 3 times during that.
Nice. And I have to add this because he wants you to know. Thank you, Sonny, for your training, your guidance as I trained. I always loved working with you, Sonny. The time you took my pink towel at the racetrack and did the flossing of your butt.
Yeah.
He didn't say that, but he rubbed it
Yeah.
between his legs. And he smelt it to his face, and that was great heat.
That's the thing with Pinky, man. He lived that gimmick.
Yeah.
He lived that. He used to wear the makeup and everything.
Yep.
And my God, that he was ugly. My God, he was ugly. Right. But he lived it, and
Yeah.
he loved it, and he did a great job with it. He did a great job with it.
It's just too bad he never, because I know what he's told me, he just wishes he would have went and wrestled other places.
Yeah,
and I
he
think
just-
he would have did well.
Yep.
I really do.
Yeah. With that Pinky Petunia gimmick, he could have gone places.
Right.
You know, he never really asked. At the time, it was like I was explaining on the WPAN podcast. It was a lot harder to get booked
Right,
in different
back
places.
then, yeah.
You really had to be at the top of your game
Right.
to even to get considered, because it was so competitive. You know, like you just couldn't work a lot of places.
And
unless
nobody
you were really
wanted
good.
anybody to work like
Right.
you had said on that
Right.
podcast, like, you're a Costa guy. And I'm sure
Yeah.
they would have said that to Pinky, too.
Absolutely, yeah. You're a Costa guy, and that was not that was a bad thing.
Right.
It was. I'm glad I was a Costa
Right.
guy, but I wanted to be hey, we're bringing in that Costa guy.
Right.
He's gonna help you guys out, or he's gonna help the show, or whatever the case is. And I would have loved that. You know, just it was hard to get on those other shows.
If
so.
he would have started now, he wouldn't have had that problem. People probably would have asked, you know what I mean? Went
Yep.
looking for him.
Yep.
Because especially that character, nobody's doing a Pinky Petunia
No,
type
nobody's
character.
doing
No
that.
one.
Right. He would have had to step up his game and
Right.
his work.
And I think he probably would have.
But he would have, yeah. But he would definitely be booked around
Right.
for sure.
I agree. All right, so we got a few questions from Mav, but here's the first one, and then the others ain't going to come until near the end.
All right.
Ask you why his dinner date with Pinky was better than yours.
Because I wasn't in it, and I didn't have to do any of that crap. That's why it was better for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't know why it was better for him, but it
Right.
was definitely better for me because I wasn't in it.
There you
That's
go.
it.
All right. Josh Richards from the Irish Whip Podcast Network.
Okay.
What's one meal you prepared 8 and said, I'll never make that again?
All right. So my wife has a job where previously it used to require her to travel,
Yeah.
right? And my kids used to love it because that meant that Dad, we were either having ice cream,
Yeah.
French toast, or we were going out for dinner.
Right.
Right? Because I didn't cook. So one night I decided I was going to cook something, and it included some roasted potatoes.
Yeah.
I remember my daughter eating a potato and doing this face and grabbing her throat and saying, it feels like rocks down my throat. So I said, all right, well, I'll never cook that again.
Right.
And then one time I tried to make a taco meatloaf because
Yeah.
I go, meatloaf's so boring, right?
Right.
Meatloaf's so boring. I go, I'm going to freaking throw some taco seasoning there, whatever. I guess I didn't mix it all together enough.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of right through the middle of the meatloaf. That wasn't good.
No.
So no, I'll never do that again. Yeah.
That's funny.
I'm going to leave the cooking to you.
sounds good.
I'm a front of the house kind of guy. Leo's the back of the house kind of guy. I'm the table toucher guy.
Right.
Leo's the back of the house guy. I'm going to tell you it tastes good.
Right.
Leo's
You're
going to
good
tell
at
me.
that.
Yeah,
right?
Leo's going to tell me why it tastes good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever cooked, and it was just recently, I did a beef stew, but I wanted it like, you know, like when some beef stews, it's thick because
Yeah.
you use a roux, you use your
Yeah.
flour and your butter. Well, Maria didn't want that. She wanted it, and it was good.
Yep.
But not that good. I'll never make the beef stew like that again. I'll make it with the roux and make it thick because that's the way I like it.
Dinty Moore beef stew has it down, right?
Yeah, it's great.
That's how all beef stew should be.
Yep.
If you listen,
Nice
out
and
there, guys. Thick.
Yeah, all
exactly.
6 of them are listening.
Yeah,
don't worry.
they are. They're
Yeah.
listening.
There's
I'll
about
talk to
6
each and
of
every
them.
one of you.
Yep. 6, 7. I might have 7 by now. Well, with you here, probably 10.
Yeah. So maybe 10. I'm a draw, kid.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Matthew P. Lightiza. You know Matthew?
No,
All
I'm
right,
sure
well,
I do. Maybe I do.
Thank you, Matthew,
Yeah.
for the question. What is indie wrestling missing, whether it be in the locker room or the ring? Nice question.
That is a good question. Well, I was just telling Leo before the show, I just went to Limitless Wrestling. I've been to Chaotic recently, and they're drawing big crowds. They're putting on great matches.
Yeah, they are.
Like I've wrestled in Maine 100 times, 1,000
Right.
times. Never in front of a crowd like this on a
Limitless.
Friday night at Limitless. I mean, there are 400 plus people in that building, and it was insane. They knew every person. They knew every storyline. It was crazy. So as far as what they're missing, I don't really think it's missing much. I think it's right on track
Yeah.
to do what it's doing. It's everybody talks about wrestling being cyclical, and if that's the case, I definitely think it's on the upswing, and
Right.
it's a giant circle if this is what it is, because it's been on an upswing for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't see it dying out.
Right.
I don't see it dying out. So I really don't think maybe the only thing that's missing is me.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would like to
Yeah.
see you back in the ring. That's
I
for
don't know
sure.
about so much about the ring. I'll just hang out. Yeah.
All right. And there's so many places to work in New England. And right
So
now,
many
New
places.
England's probably the best place to work, really. I mean, there's just so many companies. I
and
tried
so
to
many-
count them the other day.
So many good ones.
There's so many.
Yeah, there's so many good ones. That's
Yeah.
the big thing, because there used to be a lot of places to work, and
Right.
not all of them were good. More than half of them weren't good.
Right.
But now there's a handful that are really, really good.
Right.
Awesome.
Nick Steele wants to know, who would win in a fight, Captain USA or Doink the Clown? Now, which Doink, though?
That Doink the Clown, he's a good hand. He plays the guitar. He would win.
Okay.
He would win. Yeah, Captain USA, just, he fights for the red, white, and blue.
Right.
And Doink has red, white, and blue in his face makeup and
Yep.
stuff, so he couldn't do it. So,
All right.
Yeah, so USA would be on the downside of that.
All right, so Doink would win. Thanks for the
Yeah.
question, Nick. Jim Schultz wants to know, and I guess it kind of is similar to Matthew's question. What's the one thing you would change about indie wrestling? Actually, not. Is there anything that you would change?
Really not. There's not. I would bring. Honestly, okay. Here's what I would change.
All right.
I would bring wrestling to New Hampshire. There hasn't been.
Right.
And I know there's a commission, and I know that people think it's a stigma. It's too hard to run in New Hampshire. It's really not. It's you pay some money.
Yep.
But it's worth it though, because it legitimizes your business. I think.
Right.
Because you're sanctioned by the State Athletic Commission.
Right.
So that's the only thing I would change. I would bring some indie wrestling
Nice.
back to New Hampshire.
Well, there are going to be a couple shows coming up.
Yes, there are.
As
Yes,
Liberty
I know.
States, along with Todd Soper, bringing his Liberty States, along with help from Brian Malonis, Derry's own Brian Malonis.
Yeah, at
and
Pinkerton.
then after that, Tommy Mack's going to have Injustice for Brawl 3. Two.
Oh, three.
No,
two,
two.
three, two.
Sorry, that
Okay.
was my bad.
At the Everett Arena, right?
Is that Concord?
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that the one?
Yep,
Yeah.
the ice skating rink.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
huge.
It's going to be awesome.
I
I'm going.
wish him nothing but the best because that's if he draws
Yeah.
even half a house on that,
Right.
that's huge.
Yeah,
that's
Tommy's a
monstrous.
good guy, too.
Yeah.
I wish him nothing but luck. I've been telling all my friends that we
Yeah.
should go, so I'm hoping to
Absolutely.
bring like
Yeah.
8 to 10 people with me.
That'd be
so.
great. Yeah.
Next question comes from the greatest question asker in the whole world. Some guy named Leo
Never heard of
wants to know, what's the most effed up thing you've seen in the locker room? And then the same question for in the ring.
So we're in the locker room. We're in Plymouth, Massachusetts, at the Plymouth Music Hall. This gorgeous, definitely shouldn't have had wrestling in there.
Right.
Like, gorgeous building. We're downstairs in the basement, but we're on leather couches in this little locker room. It's me, Dave Barron.
Yeah.
Tony S. is the referee is in there. Jimmy Snuka's hanging out. We're all just kind of hanging out. Tony comes back from a match, plops down on the couch, puts a towel over his face like he's tired, like he's wiping his face, and then he's just kind of hanging out, right?
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, and then all of a sudden we're noticing that Tony hasn't moved. And somebody comes over, and I don't know who it was, remember, but I remember they pulled the towel off his face, and he wasn't breathing. His lips were purple, and we thought he was dying.
Right.
So ambulances there, fire trucks there, all come down. And I remember we're standing outside the locker room, and Snuka, smoking cigarette after cigarette. I go, hey man, Jimmy, you ever see anything like this? This is Jimmy. He goes, too many times, brother, too many times. Wow. So I thought Tony S was dying.
Right.
I thought he was dead. And they carted him out the
Yeah.
whole bit. Like, firemen came out and they were like, I was like, how's everything all right? And they're like, man, it's not looking good. That's the report I got. I'm like,
Wow.
I'm like, holy,
Tony's such a good guy, too.
such a good guy. And then he turned out fine.
Right.
And then later on, a company, when he came back, a company made light of it and did an angle around it, which I thought was in poor taste.
Right.
Because they weren't in there. The locker room
Right.
with them weren't seeing it. Wasn't,
Yeah.
They did what they did. Whatever. It was what it was. But that was one of the most effed up things I've ever seen in a locker room.
Now, before we say to the ring, I just want to add to that. If he didn't what happens if he just thought he was sleeping? He
Yeah.
could have died. If
Absolutely.
they didn't take that off and see
Yeah.
what he was like,
Yeah.
he could have died. So, Tony, really glad that you didn't die.
Yeah.
Really.
Glad you didn't die, Tony.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, what about same thing in the ring?
So in the
I
ring,
know I
yeah.
told you what I liked,
Yeah,
but
it would probably be one I was involved with was my story with Eric Watts. If you haven't heard it on the WPAN podcast, give it a listen, but I'll give it a brief synopsis
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. Eric Watts had just come off WCW TV,
Yep.
literally beating everybody with the STF, that
Yep.
step over toe hold face lock thing, right? Beating everybody. They bring him into Salisbury Beach, John Callahan and Big City Mike, and they go, Sonny, we're going to work a program with him. I'm like, excellent. Well, they want me to keep jobbing to him. And I'm
Right.
like, it makes no sense. He's going away.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm your guy every weekend. It makes no sense. But whatever. I'll do whatever you want. I think they got mad at that. So the final match we had, he puts me in the STF. Guys are supposed to run in. I think it was Big City and
John
Callahan.
Yep.
We're supposed to run in and cause a DQ. And I was fine with that because,
Yeah.
it's a DQ. I'm not losing.
Right.
Well, a minute goes by and nobody's coming out. Scott Dickens is the referee, and he's like, Sonny, man, nobody's coming. Eric's telling me, sorry, brother, nobody's coming. I'm like, well, so I literally just stopped selling the move at all,
Right.
and I just sat there. And no emotion on my face. I just sat there waiting. And literally now he'd beaten,
Yeah.
Steve Austin, Arn Anderson, everybody on TV, Bobby Eaton, everybody on TV with this move inside of 30 seconds. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? As soon as they get it on, they're tapping. I'm in it 2, 3, 4 minutes, not selling it at this point. So finally, when I realized that it's a screw job,
Right.
this is the original screw job. I don't even
Yeah.
know I don't know. This must have been before Montreal. I just
well,
remember Scott goes, man, you got to give up. You got to give up. And I went, oh, you want me to give up? Yeah. Well, I effing quit. And I just yelled.
Yeah,
I just effing quit. He lets go. I roll out, don't sell it. And I start flipping the bird, talking about just F-bombing everybody.
Yeah.
And
Callahan, a Big
everybody.
City Mike. That
I
was
think
a
I
great
grabbed my
story.
bag, and I think I just walked out. Kevin Hughes
Yeah.
is in the crowd.
With his gun.
With his gun probably in the
Oh,
car.
yeah, I'm sure he
At
did.
least with a box cutter. He always carried a box cutter on him. Thank God that Kevin didn't get more upset.
Right.
Because somebody would have died that day.
Yeah.
Because Kevin was really,
Yeah.
he looked out for me.
Of course he did.
And I remember him just yelling, it's a screw job. And he's yelling, and it's a screw job. And he was hot.
I'm sure
we
he
all just
was.
kind of left, and he just was steaming. He wanted to kill Callahan.
Oh, I'm sure.
In Big City, knowing what was going on, knowing the whole story and everything. But then, just like wrestling is, I was back there 2 months later or whatever. Jeff and I were the Suicide Blondes working with the Eliminators.
Right.
So,
What a great. How was that working with those guys? I know you said it here
Yeah.
before, but that's my favorite tag
That's your
team.
favorite team.
I love a tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing. But because they're from Boston, man.
Yep.
And I was there when Perry had a tryout match at the Lowell Auditorium.
Yeah.
And he messed up a couple spots, and he
Yeah.
was the Iron Horseman, and they didn't
Yeah.
sign him.
Yeah.
I met Chris Duffy that night, was talking to him for like 10
Love
minutes.
Chris, yeah.
Said to him, hey, I'd like to maybe be a manager or something. He brings me to Killer.
Yeah.
2 minutes, I'm like, oh, you should come to my school. I'm like, okay, and never did anything about it. That's, I went, you know what it was? I went and got stoned and drank, like I did every day.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never wanted to be a wrestler. That's
Right.
one thing I never
Yeah.
did. But it crossed my mind to
Yeah.
be a manager sometimes
Absolutely.
down there.
Yeah. That would have been all right. Yeah.
Well, I actually told Big Bear and Bugsy Stone are actually going to be teaming up at the next UFO show. We should go to that, too. That's
should go to that.
February 20th.
I just met Bugsy for the first
Oh,
time
that's
a
awesome.
couple months ago.
What
I
a
was at
great
show.
guy, great guy.
Really nice
so
guy.
I teased
really,
him and
really
said,
nice
you
guy.
guys need a manager. What a tag team, though, those two big
Yeah.
dudes.
I'd like to get in there with them.
And they have a backstory with the UFO because they were in a battle royal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were the last two. And then they had a couple matches. Now they're teaming up. It should be interesting.
Yeah. Well, keep me posted. I took myself off
Okay.
the social media, guys. I'm 46 years old.
Right.
I'm not a teenager.
Yeah.
And I don't need social media, I guess. So
Right.
I took myself off. I'll probably go on at some point because we're gonna have to promote the Dropkick Kitchen
I'll always
and
be able
whatnot.
to take care of that for us.
Yeah.
No problem.
And but keep me posted on those shows because I'm in a position now where I can go to more shows and I love wrestling.
Right.
So
Well, Maria says I should grow up someday, so I'm not where,
you
where
leave her
you're
right
at
now,
then,
then, Maria.
You know, I am.
You leave Maria if she's telling you to grow up.
See that? Told you, man. My friends got my back, too.
That's right. Maria,
All
I'm
right.
kidding.
Another question from myself. Could you share any stories on the infamous skunk? And I'm sure Mav's like, oh, this ought to be good. Because I know
So-
Mav hated him.
Yeah, everybody hated him.
Yeah.
So Skunk came into the business. This is just one story.
Okay.
So we're in the backyard training at Jeff's house, right? And he says to Jeff, "What's the trick with the chair shot?" We're all kind of looking around like, "Trick? If there's a trick, nobody's told us, you know."
Right.
Jeff goes, "There is no trick." Or Rip, maybe it was Rip. He goes, "There is no trick." He goes, "No, come on. What's the trick? What's the gimmick behind the chair shot?"
Right.
We're like, "There isn't a gimmick." Chris is like, "Come on." His name is Chris.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, come on. So Rip grabs a chair, and not one of those cheap aluminum folding chairs.
Right.
He had one of those steel
Oh,
folding chairs.
yeah,
like
like I
ones
got
that-
at my school.
yeah,
Heavy.
They're heavy.
Yeah, they are.
And Rip walloped the shite out
Yeah.
of him. And he goes, "There, that's the effing trick." Yeah. Just laid him out with it. It was awesome. We all popped. You
Oh,
know, 'cause
yeah.
We knew right from the start that this kid was terrible.
Right. And
We're-
annoying.
And it was super annoying. Like not
Yeah.
even just like not even was he terrible, but he was terrible and annoying.
Right.
And didn't like he'd ask you, "Hey, how was the match?" And I'd say, "Listen, man, you did this thing and it was terrible. You should have done it this way." "Well, what do you know? I did
Yeah,
it like
yeah,
this."
yeah.
You know, like
Don't ask.
Well, don't ask me then, right?
Right.
One time we went with Coney. I'm wrestling Gary Landry. Not Gary Landry, and Gary Kadalis.
Yep.
And we had this story going. So I go, "I don't care what happens during the match, Chris. I don't really care. As long as you count the finish."
Right.
He's like, "Sonny, I'm not going to screw it up. I'm a pro. He's working as a ref. And Gary's like, just don't screw up the finish.
Right.
Just don't screw up the finish." So we go over it with him 130 times.
Yeah.
"I'm not going to screw it up. I'm not going to screw it up." I'm like, "Chris, honestly, I don't even care. Just don't screw up the finish." He goes, "All right, I got it. We get to the finish, he screws it up. I literally just stand up, Leo, and I bitch slap him right to the ground. It was everything in my power just not to just
Right.
jump on top of him and just give him a tree street beating from, you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it was everything I could do. I just couldn't stand this guy. And then for him to tell me for 45 minutes that he's not going to screw it up, I'm a pro.
Yeah.
It's just a simple 3 count.
That's
And he
it.
screwed it up and it was, and you know, does it matter in the big scheme of things? No, it was in front of
Right.
38 people or whatever. But he's just a piece of crap.
Right.
He's a piece
And
of crap.
super annoying.
And super annoying, yeah. And I think there's rumors that he got arrested for
Yeah,
like,
something. Yeah.
yeah.
Did he?
threatening
A city councilman or
city
something
councilman or
like that.
something, yeah.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
was running for it, I guess,
Yeah.
or something like that.
he's a piece of crap. Whatever happens to him, he deserves.
Right. That reminds me of the story of Rick Fuller. slapping the crap out of Barry Ace. You know who Barry Ace is?
I do know Barry Ace, yeah.
Did you ever hear that one?
No.
Oh, he messed up the finish, and Rick let him have it, man.
It's just, and the only thing I regret is I didn't do it in the locker room.
Right.
I literally did it right in the ring.
Right.
I freaking hauled off and open fist slapped that guy.
I knew you'd have some good stories on him.
There was another time the boys had to stop me. I wanted to beat him to death with a claw hammer.
Yeah.
We were putting together the ring, and he's mouthing off, saying something, and I just steamrolled him, coming at him, and the guys had to stop me. Like Rob Beth was there, Johnny Royal, and the guys they had to stop me. I was literally gonna kill him. I would have been in jail.
Wow.
I just wanted to bury the claw hammer in the back of his skull,
Right.
or front of his skull, or in his eye, wherever, just somewhere.
I think wherever he worked, everyone felt that way about him, from what
he
I
was just
heard.
like, I don't know how he got through life
Right.
just being as annoying as he was. Like, it was just terrible.
He's the type that has a different friend every week until the friend gets sick of him.
Right. I'm a pretty easygoing guy.
Right.
That guy just had no redeeming qualities to me.
Right.
Like, just nothing in life. Like, just nothing. No redeeming qualities. I know he's somebody's son and he's probably somebody's uncle or something, but.
It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? All right. All right. Now, I got there's one or two more questions for me. Is there anybody you thought would or should have gotten a chance in WWE, WCW, Impact, ROH, or Japan?
Yes. So I really thought Steve Bradley
Yep.
should have had a bigger spot there.
Right.
I don't know and we'll never know what the verdict on him was and why he wasn't used. There was a bunch of times they were going to bring him up for different things, and it just didn't work out. Alex Arion, one of Steve's proteges.
Right.
He wasn't trained by Steve, but Steve cleaned him up and
Right.
finished him. Alex was amazing. Antonio Thomas,
Yeah.
I thought really just should have been way bigger than. Like, I just think he's a good-looking kid. He's in shape.
Right.
He can work.
He was there a short time.
He was there for a short time.
time.
And that gimmick, holy Christ, did I love that gimmick.
Yeah?
And I thought that gimmick should have,
They were good together as
yes,
a team,
they were
too.
really, him and Romeo. Yeah,
Yeah.
we worked him a couple of times.
Right.
And, man, was that fun. And he's just really solid. I think Rick should have had we were talking about this the other night.
Yeah.
Rick was under contract. Rick Fuller was under contract with
Yep.
WCW for 2 years or whatever.
Yep.
A giant of a man.
Giant.
Could work and look like a freaking killer.
Yeah.
Like, if him and I are walking down a dark alley, I'm stepping aside.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I think he should have been used a lot better. Brian Fury, I think.
Yep.
I saw him work in Providence with that. I don't know what they call it, the Ring of Honor, when they bring in guys and they do like a tournament thing.
Oh, the
What do they call
top
it?
prospect tournament. Yeah.
I think I think
He made
the
it to
world
the
of Brian.
finals,
He
if
did.
I'm not
And
mistaken.
I think it was him and Matt Taven.
Yes.
I think I was at the show for that, and I mean, either one of those guys
Yeah.
could have gone on and
Oh, yeah.
won that. But I honestly think that Brian should have.
Right.
Brian would have done great in Ring of Honor.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, he would.
And you see the position he's in now with his school and what he's turning out.
Right.
He could have helped, I think, at that point, that transitional Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
To get to the next step, I think, faster.
Right.
You know?
Nice. That's a great answer. And who do you think out of the young and up and coming guys now will make it to WWE, ROH, Impact, or Japan, or even overseas in Europe and stuff
Yeah.
like that?
So a guy I just saw, and I know I'm a little behind on this, but I just saw the other night at Limitless for the first time work. I've seen some promos and stuff from him, but MJF,
Yeah.
just the work he did. He would do one little thing where he was working with it was him and JT Dunn.
Yep.
Working Anthony Green and Ace Romero.
Nice.
And they were getting the heat on Ace, and MJF just kept yelling at Ace to reach for the tag, and just kept cutting him off. It was old school tag team
Right.
wrestling. You know what I mean? They're cutting off the ring. He just kept cutting off the ring. Did a phenomenal job. Like, for a kid who's only been in the business 2 years or 3
Yeah.
years or whatever, just
He's
did
really
really,
good.
really well. Advanced. Anthony Green,
Yep.
I've known the kid since he was, 13 years old,
Right.
14 years old.
Chubby little kid.
Chubby little kid.
Yep.
My God, has he come a long way. His stuff just looks
Lot
really
of
good.
talent.
This gimmick is phenomenal.
Yep.
He's a kid that I could see making some waves. Christian Casanova, like I said
Yep.
before.
Fury guys.
Yeah, all
But
Fury
it's
guys.
true.
Nico Silva out
Yeah.
of Top Rope.
Out of top rope, yeah.
Another kid he's got down there, Ryan Drew has down there. I can't think of his name. Kid USA's Jay Gillette, Travis Gillette.
Travis Gillette.
Travis Gillette, young, big kid.
Yeah.
I've only seen him work once or twice,
Right.
and you can tell he's green.
Yeah.
But super potential.
Right.
He's
He's
so
been
those are
watching
kids.
wrestling because of his dad since he was a little
Yeah.
kid too. I mean.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So he has a lot of potential. He's a big kid. And then I don't want to. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. I apologize, but those are just because they're off the top of my
Right.
head. So
Nice.
those are good.
Yeah,
are
all
that are
those
gonna be
guys that
watched.
along
Yeah.
with Josh Briggs, another one.
Oh yeah, Josh. Briggs. Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
But like
yeah.
I said, you're coming
Yeah.
off this really quick.
Yeah.
But like you said, Anthony Green, that gimmick he has right now, he was doing great with the All Good,
Yep.
and then he transferred into this, and you never can go wrong when you got girls in thong bathing suits.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
saying, Isaiah called me a pervert because I was watching them and I was all excited when
Yeah.
they came out.
Yes.
And I looked at him and said, I'm a hot-blooded American male.
That's it.
I said, what am I supposed to be looking at, the boys' butts?
Right.
And he's like, no, Poppy, I'm not saying that. But he called me a pervert. I'm like, thanks, that's my grandson.
It's perfect. What he does. It's perfect for that gimmick. It's like
Absolutely.
he's like a playboy from
Yeah.
the '80s or whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
and I
It's
love
just-
it. I love that
It's
gimmick.
perfect. And those girls do so well for him too. Just,
Yeah.
It's all ties in together. It's great. It's really
And
great.
again,
it's fun to watch.
Fury students. I
Yes.
mean, and that's no knock, and also Ryan students.
absolutely,
You know,
and Ryan,
they
yeah.
got some great talent down at the top rope too.
Yeah.
So, Rob Beth wants to know who does he think in indie wrestling and the WWE NXT has earned a big push? So you kind of mentioned the indie part just now.
Yeah.
So what about who do you think should be pushed in WWE and NXT?
As far as like Tommaso, right where he's
Yep.
at right now,
Yep.
I just remember going back to, we were talking about this the other night. Remember when he tore his ACL? And
Yes.
He came back inside of 6 months or
Yep.
something, right? That's like what Adrian Peterson from the Vikings did. Remember
Right,
when he tore his
yes,
ACL?
yes.
Came back in 6 months and people were like, oh my God, he
Right.
came back in 6 months from that surgery. Tommaso did that. And I remember the videos they shot, or he shot of himself working out at the gym he was
Yep.
at, Project Champa, the whole bit. That guy, he lives this, you know?
Yeah.
And he is doing so well. I'm so proud of that kid.
Right.
So he deserves everything he gets.
Absolutely.
Mike Bennett is another one who I think once they find the spot for him,
right. He'll be
and
fine.
he's going to be fine. I guess he said the other day somebody he was doing a Ask Me Anything or something, and somebody asked, or somebody commented, now it's time for your push or whatever.
Right.
And he said, I don't need a push. He goes, I push myself. You know,
Right.
he goes, I'll get where I need to get, and that's always been Mike Bennett. So
Right.
he's another guy that once he breaks out and he's on TV every week, people aren't going to forget him. You know,
Right.
he's phenomenal. He's so good. So those guys are guys that I look at, and then I don't really watch a whole lot of other wrestling.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I was taping Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. It's on at like
Yeah,
on Nesson
I
at
always-
like
I
3 o'clock
haven't
in the
really
morning or something.
I watched one. Is it good?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Right? That's why I've
wasn't-
only watched one.
it
They
wasn't
tape every
good.
week on
Yeah.
my DVR, and
Yeah.
I don't even watch them.
Yeah, I tried watching. I
delete
tried
them.
watching, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
I found myself. I don't think I got through a whole episode, and I just wasn't into it. It just,
Right.
And maybe it's because I don't know the guys, whatever the case was, but it just didn't look.
Right. I've only knew one guy that was on the show, honestly, Willie Mack. I
Oh, yeah.
seen him on
Okay.
the one episode that I
Yep.
watched, but like you said, there are other guys, they didn't do nothing for me.
Yeah, I saw Gentleman Jarvis or whatever.
Yeah.
I know him from Chicago when he was
Oh, he's
around
on
here.
there now?
Yeah,
Jervis
he's over there.
Cottonbelly?
That's the one. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love that guy.
He's there, yeah. So that gimmick's great. So
We were talking to him one day, me and Isaiah and his friend Aiden, and all of a sudden he starts talking with that English accent.
yeah,
I was like, whoa, we were all laughing so
Right.
hard. He's a cool dude.
yes, yeah. He was super fun.
I
and
might
he's
have to
talented.
watch another
Yeah,
episode of that.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me, but I have super ADD too when it comes to TV
Right.
shows. Like I get bored.
Yeah.
If you don't catch me in 35 seconds,
Right.
I'm tuned out.
Yeah.
You know, just what it is.
Nice.
There's 9 million other channels to watch, so why am I gonna
Exactly.
watch you?
And all the guys down in NXT that I'd like to see come up to the main roster, like the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, all those guys.
Obviously, War Raiders,
Yeah.
And there's just so Velveteen Dream, Ricochet, who I think is going to be a stud. when he
Dijak,
gets
who's
up
just
there.
starting to get the push
yeah.
now.
But right now, he's getting that push. Hopefully, he gets a big push
Yeah.
down there. So talented.
So, yeah.
6'7", man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Can do things that are like unbelievable. I got to ask you, seeing we're talking about big men, did you see the spot Josh Briggs does? Okay, the guys are outside the ring.
Yeah.
In the corner, outside.
Yeah.
He goes to the other side, runs, grabs the top rope, and hurdles himself and dives over the top rope. Unbelievable. Seriously. I don't see anybody else doing that, and he nails it.
He's a big boy too.
Very athletic, man.
Super
Very
big boy.
athletic.
See, that's the difference too from when I was working to
Right,
now.
right.
Guys that size would never do those kind of
Right.
things. You wouldn't see Rick Fuller doing that.
Oh, no,
You know what I mean?
not
You
in a
wouldn't see a
million
Rick
years,
Fuller.
yeah.
If Rick Fuller left his feet,
Right.
he didn't have to. So
Yeah.
if he left his feet, that was a big deal. You
Right.
know, guys like Redemption, if they left their feet, Big City Mike, if he
Yep.
left his feet, these are big boys. And
Yeah.
Josh is he's a big freaking
He's got,
kid, man.
He's got to be
Yeah.
6'5", 6'6", right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's how tall he is. I'm
Yeah.
not positive, but
He is. He's and he's a thick
good.
boy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's thick.
But imagine
Quite
that,
thicker.
though, from one corner, runs, grabs the top, and just dives
He was a football
over.
player before, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a lineman, though. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, yeah.
so you wouldn't think, because of his build, you would think more like a tight end.
Yeah, tight
But
end,
then again,
yeah.
guards are good like at that size because
Yep.
they're quick.
Yep.
Those pull-in guards, which
Yeah.
I'm sure he was. But I think he said it on here. He eventually played pretty much all the positions. When someone was out,
He would
he would
flip
just
over.
bounce here, bounce. He's done them all.
Yeah.
So,
One guy I talked about who's not actually working anymore, that I honestly think would be phenomenal in Japan is Big Scott, Max Smashmaster.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna have him
Yeah.
on your show coming up
Coming
here,
up,
I know,
yep.
right? That kid, I was at the school and he was doing some training.
right.
And they were talking about bumping and feeding. You know, you hit the mat and you get back up, hit the mat, get back up, hit the mat, get back up, with quickness. You know, he was hitting the mat and getting up faster than I could blink. Now, this
Yeah,
is today, you
right.
know, and he hasn't wrestled in whatever in 2 years or whatever the case is. But
Wow.
he's always a kid. I thought that if he would have stuck with it,
Yeah.
him and whether it was Sean Burke or the other kid, Thomas.
Yes.
The other kid in the Devastation Corporation would have been monstrous in Japan.
Right.
I think Scott is just such a big kid and loves his business
Right.
and can work.
Yeah.
Man, that kid can work. He has a good mind for it. He can work. He would have been great in Japan.
Nice.
But now he's got a broken heart or something. Yeah.
Oh, that stinks.
He lost his smile or something.
Oh, he lost his smile. Ah, come on.
Yeah, he
Hope
lost it.
I hope he finds it before
I
he
know.
comes in.
Yeah, me too. Me
Before
too.
he comes in here.
Me too. Yeah.
Tom Salome. I hope I say this. I'm pronouncing this right. If I'm not,
It's salami.
that's what my son would have said when he
Yeah.
was little. His favorite hockey player was Timu Solani. I'm Salami. I'm like, who's that?
Yeah.
Timu. I'm like, oh, okay. It's a two-parter. First, your thoughts on All Elite Wrestling, which we don't know a lot about yet, but we do know that Jericho's going to be there.
Yeah.
We know the Young Bucks, Cody.
Yeah.
And
Here's the thing. I think, I don't know what it's going to end up being. I know that they've got a lot of money behind it from what
Yeah.
what I'm
yeah, the
reading.
dude from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
like-
He's loaded.
like, not
He's like
like-
a billionaire.
Not like a pocket money.
Right.
He's got billions behind
Yeah.
it. There's got to be a TV deal, right? Because why else would you sign like a guy
Right.
like Jericho?
Exactly.
Because Jericho's going to
Yeah.
be good for TV. Like, he'll draw you some stuff at a house show.
Yep.
He's a name that people
Yeah.
relate to
He
wrestling.
needs
as
to
the
be
TV.
on the
Yeah.
television show.
Exactly. So
Yep.
I think there's probably going to be TV behind it, and I think they'll probably announce that at some point
Right.
coming up. I saw that they filed for a trademark card called Tuesday Night Dynamite or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
So
what
they're
else
going
is
to
that
do
gonna
shows
be?
on Tuesday nights?
Right? Because you can't. It's not smart to go against it
No,
on
we
Monday
talked
night.
about that off here. You can't.
Isn't TNA or Impact or whatever on Thursday nights?
Thursday nights, yep.
Right? I don't know when Ring of Honor is
Right.
on all different times. Why not pick a Tuesday night, right?
Yeah, that would be smart.
And with the roster they signed so far,
Yeah.
they got a good start.
Yeah.
You know, they got a really good start. So I'm assuming coming up this new year before WrestleMania, right around WrestleMania,
Right.
that's when all those contracts come
Yep.
up and they let a bunch of guys go usually, the cleanup. There'll probably be guys, that not so quick to re-sign with WWE and
Right.
maybe look to AEW and,
Yep.
what's my advantage and what's, what work schedule
Nice.
versus what they're doing right now.
Right.
So it's going to be good. I
Cool.
think it's going to be good.
Second part. Gun to your head. One guess only. Where is Kenny Omega going?
Gun to my head, I don't think he's going to be at the Royal Rumble.
Right.
Right? I think he's going to sign with AEW. Yeah. I think that even if he signed a short term, right? Because he's, what is he, 35 or 36,
He's up,
right?
yeah, he's not a spring chicken.
Yeah.
He's
He's
but
got
he's still got a good amount of years left.
Yeah. So maybe he signs a short-term deal with AEW.
Right.
And then finishes out with WWE. I think he's got to work WWE before he retires at some point, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
a lot of people consider him the best
He's
in the world,
good,
right?
man.
And he is.
good.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So think about the potential matchups that he could have in like him and Kevin Owens. Him
Oh,
and,
yeah.
him and
It's
AJ,
endless of
him
the
and
guys
Daniel
you can work
Bryan.
with.
Like,
AJ.
yeah, it's going to be phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be so good.
No doubt.
So he's got to be there at some point.
Right.
But I think he's going to AEW first with his buddies, help bring it up a little bit,
Right.
and then see where it goes. But
Nice.
I don't think he's going to sign a three-year contract, maybe
Just-
a 1-year contract. And
Okay.
yeah.
I had heard something like some rumblings, whether it's true or not, who knows, that WWE was going to give him creative control. I don't think you'll ever see that in wrestling again, because we know what happens when
Yeah.
you do that.
Yeah.
Just ask Bischoff at WCW.
Yeah,
man.
exactly, right. Where did that get you?
Yeah. All right, we got to get through these.
Yeah.
Jesse Martineau wants to know, Leo and Sonny, I'm a fan of podcasts type of guy. Also, like any independent wrestler in New England. Which podcast should I check out? You want to tell them?
So I personally like the
Yep.
WPAN.
Yep.
I think that one's great.
Me too.
I don't have a whole lot of time. I listen on my way to work, on my way home from work. Other than that, I
Right.
try to get through those. I listen to that one. I listen to Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling.
Yep.
To me, I love the comedic take on it, and I don't know those two at all, but
Yep.
I just think they have a really good rapport. And rapport?
Yeah, something like that.
That doesn't sound right. Whatever.
But it's all right.
But edit that out, Dick. But they sound
Chemistry.
great together. Chemistry. They have a great chemistry. Perfect. And I love that one. I don't listen to a whole lot of other wrestling
Right.
podcasts.
I got
though.
a bunch.
You do? Good.
Yeah.
Listen them off.
All right, so like you said, the WPAN Wrestling Podcast About Nothing with Malonis and Crockett, unreal.
Yeah,
It took me too
awesome.
long to stop listening to that.
Yeah.
The Irish Whip with
That's a good
Jason
one.
Stewart, Josh Richards, great.
Is that local?
Yes.
Okay.
The Art of Wrestling with Cole Cabana.
Yep, I do listen to that one.
The 605 podcast with Brian Last. I refuse to call him the Great because he named himself the Great Brian Last.
Yeah.
You don't give yourself nicknames. I'm not going to say you're not really good, but you're not great, dude. The Edge and Christian podcast of awesomeness,
Yep,
very
that's-
good. I don't
that
listen
way I
every
listen
week.
to too. Yeah.
Talk is Jericho. And
Yeah.
I got to give these guys a little push too. For the Pops, Jamie, Jay Mikowski, and Scotty Slade.
Is
they
that a
got one.
regular thing, or is that like?
I think they do it a little bit. And then one last one. B13 podcast from my good friend Brandon Belanger, who's been on the show 4 or 5 times. He's just getting going. And he had his first wrestler on this past week.
Who do
He
you
had
have on?
Robo.
Okay.
Puda-
Yeah, the Punjabi
Yeah, thank you. Lion.
prisoner. Oh, Lion.
Yeah. Great. I
Really?
like that kid's got potential too, big time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had his first guest. He gives me
Yeah.
gives me credit for making him want to do that show. That's great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brandon's a really good kid.
Good.
So I listen to that every week too. So that's pretty much all the podcasts that we think are good.
Yeah. I
So-
think, yeah.
So Jesse, if you haven't checked out them, man, check these ones out because they really are awesome. And maybe comment again on this to tell us what you listen to if we don't listen.
Yeah.
If we didn't
If there's
name
something
it.
we should be listening to, let us know.
Right.
Because I'll listen.
Dan Bolia, who was here a couple weeks ago, as
Yep.
my special guest co-host. Have you guys known any wrestlers who had rotacuff surgery? Did Todd have rotacuff surgery? Do you know?
I'm sure he has rotator cuff. Yeah,
Right.
he has.
Because I know he had all kinds of
Yeah.
injuries, man.
Yeah, I believe Mav has.
Yep.
On both shoulders, I believe.
Okay.
I've had labrum surgery, not rotator cuff though.
Right.
And as far as coming back, the same. If Todd had it,
Yep.
he definitely did. But
Right.
it's always in the back of your mind. Even when I had the labrum surgery, I came back, but like I didn't work a whole lot. But you're cautious of it, you
Right.
know. Like same thing when I had my meniscus cleaned out. Well,
Yep.
cleaned out, taken out. You're just cautious of it. But I think in your head, we're still men and we're primal that way. We're just
Yep.
like, we're indestructible, you know, like we still do whatever. Same thing I was doing yesterday, you know. But you can't. But you think you can. But you're still, I think, just a little weary of it. But I don't know specifically if somebody had.
Right.
Sounds like maybe he's going to need it. That's why
Yeah,
he's asking.
it's looking that way. And Tom Salome gave him some good advice because I think he had it and stuff. And you're going to be fine, Dan. Don't be positive about it. You know, do the physical therapy, everything your doctor tells you, and I bet you'll be fine. He plays a lot of sports still.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
If
He wants to still be able to play softball and
Yeah.
football and all that.
If it's the arm you do your personal business with,
Yeah.
start practicing the other arm now, guy.
Yeah. It's his
Wiping your butt
I think
and-
it's his right arm.
Doing everything else. I thought when
just right.
I know when I had the labrum surgery, right?
Yeah.
3 days later, they're like, oh, you're going to be in that sling for 8 weeks. I'm like, yeah, okay. 3 days later, I felt good. I was
Yeah.
like, all right.
Nice.
I went to go put a T-shirt on. So I put this arm in. I went to go put this one in. I got right to here.
Yeah.
I almost cried like a little girl.
Right.
It was so painful.
Yeah.
So painful. I go, all right, no, 8 weeks in this thing, man.
8 weeks it is.
8 weeks it is. Yeah. I was like, I was laying, sleeping on a recliner.
Yeah.
Holy Christ, it was bad. Yeah.
Wow. Nathan Fuller, good friend of mine who's not a Oh, I'm sorry. Were they ever the same? If depends, I guess. Really,
Yeah.
depends on if you follow the doctor's orders. If
Yeah.
Todd did have rotacuff surgery, look at him now.
Yeah.
I think you'll be fine, Dan. I really do.
Yeah.
Nathan Fuller, who definitely isn't a Patriots fan, he was giving me a hard time because I called Shannon Sharp horseface.
Yeah.
Because he bashes the Patriots, and
Yeah.
Max Kellerman bashes the Patriots. Max Kellerman someday is going to say, I told you, because for 3 years he's been saying Brady's going to fall off the cliff. Well, yeah, if you keep saying it, eventually
it's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And that really might not, though, because he might win a Super Bowl and retire.
Yeah.
So he may not fall. This guy's an
Yeah.
idiot, Max. I hated him when he did boxing. I hate him even more now.
Does he not do boxing anymore? Because that's where I
know
him
he
from.
still does boxing.
Okay, he
Yeah,
does.
he's annoying.
I didn't know he did football. I just
Yeah.
know him from boxing.
He's
so.
annoying. Well, he has a show.
Okay.
Like that, one of those talk shows on
Yeah.
ESPN, Fox Sports
Oh,
1.
gotcha.
Whatever.
Okay.
He's just, I can't stand him. I do. You're right, Nathan, in a way, I guess. I'm not a hateful person. I just hate him, and I hate Shannon Sharp. But we never even asked this question
Yeah.
yet. Sonny and Leo, what is your favorite WrestleMania match of the 90s? I don't know. Undertaker match, maybe?
Yeah, Undertaker Shawn was good.
Yeah,
Rick Shawn was good.
Was that 90s, though?
Probably not. I don't know. I have no idea what anything was. If Scott or Joey were here with me, they'd be able to tell you
I got
everything.
one. I got one.
What do you have?
Roddy Piper and Goldust.
Was that the 90s?
I don't know. All right, how about Roddy Piper and Bad News Brown? That had to have been in the early 90s.
Sure.
That was a good match, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good match. Bad News Brown was good.
Yeah.
Piper was great.
Oh,
yeah.
Piper, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say Savage Steamboat.
Yeah.
But that's 80s.
Yeah, that's 80s.
Right?
That's what they want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Savage Steam, that's the best answer you can give them because that match was unbelievable. And it was probably this much, too.
Yep,
As
raw
from
written out.
Steamboat
Yeah.
said. It's like
Yeah.
a book.
They say the match was only 17 minutes. I remember it being in like
It just seemed like it was longer, right?
so long.
Yeah.
But 17. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it at some point.
So what a great match. It
I've
really
only
was.
seen it, I think, the one time or second time, or two
Right.
times maybe. But I'm not a guy that goes back and watches that kind of stuff
Yeah,
anyway.
once
but
you see it once, you're
I
good.
just remember how good it was.
Yeah.
But in my head, it was a 45-minute
Right.
knockdown, drag out thing,
Yeah.
and it was probably 17 minutes of arm drags. But it
Yeah.
was put together very well. So
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Next question is a guy you brought up earlier, Ryan Drew. He's like, hey, I'll join in. Thank you for the questions,
Right
Ryan.
on, Ryan.
What are your top 3 absolute worst matches of all time? There's so many, so I did write down 3.
Tell me what yours
I
are.
got the Rosie O'Donnell versus Donald Trump match on
Yeah, that
Raw.
was bad.
It was Kylie McLean playing Rosie O'Donnell, and surprisingly, Ace Steel was
Doing
playing
Donald
Donald Trump, who I've seen Ace have great matches before.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was like
Yeah, when
pitiful.
you're doing it as a gimmick
Insult,
though like that,
yeah.
yeah, it's probably not as good. But what else?
And then one guy's been in both matches. Antonio Inoki versus the great Antonio.
Yeah, that was
That was-
phenomenal.
yeah,
that was good.
Phenomenal because he beat the crap out of the guy for real.
That guy's
afterwards.
face was
Yes. All the
Hamburg
kicks
after.
in the face, the
Yeah.
palms to the side
yeah,
of the head.
so good.
And his match with Muhammad Ali
Yeah,
was
it was bad.
pitiful.
Yeah, 'cause
the crab
Inoki
walk,
was just
that's
doing
all
the
he
crab
did.
walk, yeah.
And I'm sorry, but he won that match. Ali
Yeah.
never hit him. He kicked Ali 1,000 times.
Yeah.
How did he not win that match?
Crazy, right?
But
Yeah. So one of mine, I think this is what Ryan's looking for, is
All right.
the match I was in. It was me and Dave against 2 guys down
Yeah.
in it was in New Bedford or Fall River, Fairhaven. At some VFW or something, where the guys were reckless and they stiffed Dave a little bit, my partner Dave a little bit, and Dave's too nice of a guy to. He's not too nice of a guy to take it,
Right. Yeah.
But he was like, maybe they're green or whatever. I knew they weren't green, so I made Dave tag me in, and I kicked up.
it's all right.
I kicked the
That
crap
works
out of
out
the 2
bad.
guys.
Yep.
Yeah. And finished the match early, and one of the guys just grabbed their bags and left, crying, I heard. Ryan was in the crowd for that. Ryan and Vinny Maseglia was in the crowd, and they loved it. It was one of the worst matches I've ever been in, though,
Wow.
myself.
Right.
As far as seeing matches, man, I've seen a lot of wrestling,
Right.
right? So I don't know that I could come up with one like
Right.
because I try to forget the bad ones,
Yeah.
like just how awful they are, like how god awful they are.
Skunk had to be in a couple of bad
Everyone
matches,
he's
yeah.
ever in, yeah. Does it have to be 3? Because every
Yeah, no,
every
I can-
match he was in
All right,
was
so
the
that's
worst
about
match
what,
ever.
15,
And I don't care who was on the other side. I apologize.
right?
But it was the worst match ever, and I didn't even have to see it to know that it was the worst match
Right.
ever. Who else?
Barry Ace. Come on,
I don't
I've
remember
seen him
seeing-
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shouldn't be in the ring.
Okay.
He
See
shouldn't.
that?
He
Yeah.
shouldn't be in
See,
the
and
ring.
you know, and you know, people may give you grief for
Yeah.
that, but you're a fan. You pay
Right.
for the ticket. You can have your opinion on that, and guaranteed 98% of the boys will agree with you if that's the
Right.
case. You know what I mean? You all know what you're looking at. So that's one thing. Oh, Joey's gonna have a match. I just ran into Sidney Bacabella
Nice.
at Texas Roadhouse in Nashua, and
Okay.
he told me he is going to have a match with Sandy Starr. The match hasn't even happened yet, and I can guarantee it's going to be one of the worst matches I've ever seen.
Right.
And I probably won't ever see it, but I can guarantee you it's going to be one of the worst matches ever. Yeah.
There's a match that I won't say on the air. I'll tell you who it was on,
Yeah.
and Ryan, I'll send you an IM and tell you because I saw the guy at the last Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And he was eyeballing me because I posted this match. Of
Oh, you
his.
did?
Him, this guy, him. You might be able to figure this out, Ryan. Him and the dude that was like a fireman or something like that. And he was like a cowboy from Texas. And his name is very famous.
Travis Funk.
Oh, what?
Oh, was it
yeah.
Travis Funk?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Now he's
Terrible.
gonna beat me up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll beat you up, Leo.
You know?
You're from Lowell.
Nah,
You don't get beat
I
up.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was giving me dirty looks, man. I think he knew that I
Yeah?
posted that. Oh yeah. I don't think he's on social media. He
Yeah.
might be.
Yeah. I don't
But
know.
yeah, no, that match was really bad. And
Yeah.
everybody like that was in wrestling.
Yeah.
I got like 70 comments on it.
Nice.
Next time
Who
it
was the
comes
guy who
up,
worked? Who was it?
I don't know.
Travis
Some
fucking
guy.
who?
I don't know. Some guy that he was like a pretend fireman or something like that. But it was bad.
That's interesting.
And the only reason why I say it was so bad is because Derek Dukes posted it first, and and then I think it was Derek. No, because I posted it and Derek commented on it.
Did Derek
first thing.
comment that it was good?
No,
no,
he
he didn't like it either?
commented that it was, who the heck are these guys? This is atrocious.
Nice.
With some real colorful, you ever seen Derek's post?
Yes.
Very colorful words stuck in there. at
I think
places.
Ryan Drew trained Travis Funk.
he?
You should take credit for that, Ryan.
All right. Oh, my God, I gave too many clues. All right. Ryan wants to know the opinion on the recent tampon spot and opinion on those kind of spots in general. We both.
So yeah, here's my opinion on
Yeah.
it. So from what I read, what she said, it was at a bar.
Yep.
It was 21 club. Or it
Yep.
was 21 plus. Kids on in there. People, they're in there. They're drinking. They know what they're getting.
Right.
Would I book it? No. Would I allow it on
Right.
a show that I was running? Probably not.
Right.
But whatever. It is what it is. I think we've seen much worse, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff. Choppy pee-pee. Come on. Like,
Yeah.
just we've seen a lot of garbage. That's just one more thing. And is it the end of the world? No. That girl's going to go on, have another match. Nobody seemed to really care. The crowd popped. It's something they'll talk about for a long time, that
Right.
crowd, right? It is what it is.
And it's funny because the girl could work. She was in the Mae Young
in the Mae Young
Classic, so
Classic,
it's not
yeah.
like she can't work. Like you said, it was a spot. If you're gonna do that spot, it was the perfect
A
place
bar
for
chose
it. A
to do it.
bar, no little kids.
Yeah.
You know?
You're not doing that little Chaim's bar mitzvah show.
Right,
But, you know,
exactly.
you're doing it at
Exactly.
a bar show. Whatever. It is
Yeah,
what it is.
like you said, an opinion on those kind of spots. It is like
Not for me,
yeah,
but
yeah. If it's in a bar and it's a gross spot, it is what it is. Like you
Yeah.
said, you know. Thanks, Ryan. And last one from Ryan. This is a long one, okay? Years ago, it was easy to run angles because there wasn't a lot of overlap in each town. You could run a show in Milford on Friday, and then the same show in Nashua on Saturday and Manchester on Sunday. Now, with the advent of the internet and social media, there is a ton of overlapping fans. How does a promoter or booker keep interest in an angle without blowing it off so quickly, while also keeping each show fresh for the overlapping fans? I know I probably lost you at the beginning.
I understand exactly what he's saying. So remember when we were kids, Leo, we'd watch
Yeah.
wrestling, right? So January, they'd start building for WrestleMania,
Yeah.
right? Then WrestleMania, you'd start building for SummerSlam.
Yep.
SummerSlam, you'd start building for Survivor Series,
Yes.
right? Then you would build for Royal Rumble. There was 4 big pay-per-views
Right.
a year. Now there's one like every 3.5 weeks,
Yeah.
4 weeks or something, right? So they have to below that. And independent wrestling kind of has to follow suit
Yeah.
because because so say you're building up to two guys working together, right?
Yep.
And whatever, I'm just going to pick two names.
Yeah.
AG and Nico Silva,
Okay,
right?
yep.
You're a top rope
That'd be a good
wrestling,
match.
right? Building,
Yep.
right? You want to drag these out 6-7 months, 6-7 shows. Well, the guy running down the street goes, man, that's going to be a great freaking match. I'm going to put it on my card Friday night, right? Why would AG and Nico say no?
Right.
Because they're going to
Payday.
get paid to work a show, right?
Yeah.
So you can't hold off on that anymore. So you almost have to book angles to pay off at the next show. It's very
Real
very
two
short
show angles, right?
short
right.
term booking, and it makes it super hard. I don't envy Ryan Drew's position.
Right.
Teddy books down there.
Yep.
I don't envy. There's Brian Fury's and Kevin at Chaotic.
Yep.
Because it's impossible. It's so hard to book these angles and keep them running for a long time.
Right.
And Brian, I know, does a great job.
Yep.
I don't follow Top Rope a whole lot, so I don't know how they're doing with the angles. But I know Brian does a good job of keeping the angles running.
Yep.
But it's got to be so freaking hard, but you have to build that loyal base and get them to come to the next show to see the payoff or to see where does it go next, and hope that they do, because if not, you're playing to another crowd.
Right.
When I was wrestling for Jeff literally would sit at a table. He'd put every name on a card.
Yep.
And he'd book matches on a card, and then the card would go like this. He'd watch the door. Oh, Mav showed up, so he'd write Mav. Next guy in. Oh, Bob Evans. So he'd book Bob Evans.
Right.
And that's how he would book a show sometimes, and that's what the card was.
Yeah.
He didn't care what he put on the poster a month ago,
Right.
for that show. Whatever walked through the door. That's how he would book a show.
Nice.
And like I said, angles didn't really carry out. Just you almost had to pay him off the night of the show. It was bad. It was
Right.
rough. It's rough, and it's. I don't envy it at all, man. I don't envy it.
I got just a couple more questions. And
Sure.
Ryan, just so you know, when I did say like I lost you, because you had said before I did something long, and you're like, you lost me at the
Yeah,
second
yeah.
line. So that's why I said that.
I'm not that smart. so.
Is it your birthday?
It is not. My birthday was in
But
September.
He
said
happy birthday.
Well, because he missed it in September.
Oh, there you go.
Is my present-
What a nice guy.
Is my present coming,
Thoughtful.
Ryan? Yeah. My present
Yeah.
should be coming.
You want 2 tickets to Top Rope?
Top rope, yeah. Two, not
For
front
me and
row
you.
though. Not front row. Yes, there you go.
Front row in the balcony. That place looks incredible.
That,
man.
the PAL.
You been there? I've
Yeah,
never been
I've worked
there,
in that
man.
building.
Wow, that place
that's a great
looks
building.
like a hell of
Yeah.
a fun building to watch
Yeah,
a
it really
wrestling
is.
show.
Yeah, it really
All right.
is.
So Mav's got 2 questions. Who was the top heel at the beach?
Sud the Skull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you know who that is?
No.
No, nobody knows who that is unless you speak Donnie.
It was Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie. You know
Donnie. Yeah.
Donnie. You know Donnie.
Yeah, you told the story
Yes.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Donnie. Donnie was the top heel of the beach, and all the boys know why. That's where I'll go with that.
That is awesome. How does he talk again?
I go, Donnie, what's the gimmick with the mask? What's the name of it? Said the skull, and that means just the skull. I'd be like, what do you mean skull?
awesome.
That's it. Just said the skull. Or he'd say like, I'd be like, hey Donnie, I'm going to the store. You need anything? Big swim. Remember when Pepsi used to have big slams?
Oh yeah.
I was a big slam.
That's Big Swim.
Big swim. Yeah, big swim. Yeah.
All right. Mav wants to know, was there ever a good Randall Ripley match?
No.
All right.
No. You know what was even better is his partner, the American Warrior or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, he had a partner.
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
All right. Joe Lowry. What a day, Joe.
What a day.
Do you see All Elite Wrestling giving the WWE some decent competition?
Decent competition, maybe not. If they're throwing out contracts like people are leading on that they are,
Yeah.
then it's quite possible.
Right.
Like I said, they have that. The boys now have the bargaining power.
Yeah.
If they want to go like, what's the value of a guy who hasn't been on TV in 2 years, like a Zack Ryder? You know what I mean?
Right.
What's the value? Is he good? He's great. There is a value to him. But why is the WWE going to sign him just so the AEW doesn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is AEW going to give him a decent contract to steal him away from?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of variables going into it, right? Like if a guy hasn't been on TV forever, what's the value to him? Like a Mojo Riley, right?
Yeah.
When's the last time he was on TV?
Right.
Right. Those kind of guys. there's value to them, of course. But and as far as building competition, I think they're gonna spark a little interest.
Yep.
And maybe cause WWE to step up their game a little bit. Like, but I don't know that it's never gonna be the Monday Night Wars over again.
Right.
Ever. It'll never
And
be
like
that.
you had said off, it would be smart if they ran like on a Tuesday.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, way smarter.
Don't try to run it on Monday. Just and hopefully they're smart enough, and I think they are.
Right.
They seem like smart boys.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Like,
All right, so we got 2.5 minutes to do the name game.
who do we got?
Derek Dukes.
Never heard of him.
All right,
All right.
next. I love you, Derek. Mike Crockett.
Okay, so Mike Crockett is probably one of the best referees. Mike Crockett was the first time I was in in a match with the referee that I realized, I go, holy Christ, like this
Right.
referee can make a difference. You know what I mean? I was in the ring a lot of time with Jack Savage, who was a great referee.
Yep.
But Jack was just about the ha-ha. Jack loved the ha-ha.
Right.
You know, Crockett was really good in positioning, everything like you don't notice. Like it literally used to be, hey man, who's here? You're not working tonight? Throw on the ref shirt.
Yeah.
Right? And it didn't matter.
Right.
Crockett was the first guy I remember being in the ring with saying, he's good, he's valuable. And he took it really seriously. So my job, I used to just try to make him, I used to just try to pop him every single, I don't care what I did. I used to be more concerned about making Crockett pop than doing anything else in the match.
Right.
And my matches probably suffered. You know, they were probably went from 6 stars to 5 stars then.
Well, I'll tell you, at one time, they had the 2 best refs Chaotic did.
Yeah.
With him and Fat Pants.
Yes.
I mean, come on. You didn't get. I mean, there's some great refs out there now, like Tony S. is great,
Yeah.
Rich Bass,
Rich Bass is
Kevin
great.
Quinn.
Yep.
I mean, they
Kevin
got
Quinn.
3 great refs in Chaotic
Yeah.
now, but they used to have 2.
Yeah. The only thing I think with Tony S is that he's 11 feet tall.
Yeah,
And he's taller than a lot
He
of the
is
boys,
tall.
you know?
Yeah.
And
And
that
Quinn's
scares me.
muscular than most of the wrestlers.
Yeah, Quinn's
but
doing.
Kevin's awesome,
Quinn-
man. What a great
Quinn's
guy.
doing push-ups. Every time I meet Kevin Quinn, I say, hi, Kevin Quinn. I go, yeah, I've met you 5,000 times, Kevin.
He's an awesome guy.
All right, what else we got? That's a lot of
How
names.
about Brian Malonis?
Love Brian Malonis. I regret not having a match with him.
Right.
Yeah.
He's
love
incredible.
him. Yeah.
And Aaron Morrison.
Love Aaron.
I know.
Love Aaron.
I first time I ever seen him was
Yeah.
when he worked for Jeff.
Yeah, love Aaron Morrison. Great guy. Springfield crew. Love all those guys.
Kid Crazy.
I love Kid Crazy. One of the best guys you'll ever get in the
Right.
ring with. Just a hot mess, though.
Nice.
Hot mess, yeah.
How about Paul Richards? Who's
Paul
going
Richards.
through some things, and I
Yeah, he's going
wish
through
you
some
nothing
things.
but the best, Paul.
I love Paul. Good,
Yep.
very, very good guy. Yeah.
Nice. Last one. What do you think, kid? Jason Rumble.
Hey, Jason Rumble, man. Jason. I love Jason too. I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with Jason, but I love Jason.
Nice. Guys,
Thanks, Leo.
we're out. Sonny, thank you. Wednesday, Dropkick Kitchen. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.